What's up YouTube, this is your boy Game Freak Daniel, aka Big D! I'm back with the Sega Saturn, but today we're gonna be fixing tech. So, I've been having problems, so I finally got my cord. In the last video, if you guys want to see me unboxing this, I'll leave the link in the description. But I finally got the cord, the AV cord for it. So, I went to turn it on, turns on great. And as you see, it boots up. I plug in my controller. Boots up fine, right? Alright, so we're at the main menu screen. So as you see, there's nothing in there. So I'm gonna put a disc, which I have a sealed copy of this baseball game. Can't remember, I think it's like Powerful Pro something. And then I have this robot fighting game. And again, these are Japanese games. So, I'm gonna put this one in. Alright. Put the disc in. And you can hear it trying to spin, but it ain't. It's not spinning at all, as you can see right there. Not at all. So yeah, it doesn't even try to spin at all. Nope, nothing. And I love how it has a little window here so you can see when it's spinning, but yeah, it's not spinning at all. So on this episode, I'm going to be taking apart this Sega Saturn Japanese version. I can do a fixing it of why it's not spinning. So when I bought this console, it was like 40 bucks. It was untested. It was listed for untested, so the person wasn't sure if it worked because he didn't have no cords to be able to test it. So it was listed as untested. So I was taking a chance whether this system was gonna work or not work. Well, it turns on, so that's the good news. Bad news is, can't do nothing with it because it won't play games. Won't read disc. So, and as you see right here, it is kind of like cracked here. So I'm gonna see if I can fix that too. So, let's go ahead and take apart the Sega Saturn. So, by judging at it, looks like there's screws in these corners, so you're gonna need a long screwdriver to be able to reach. Oh, as you can see, it's like popping already. Reach that screw in there. So you're gonna need a long screwdriver. Alright, so all the screws are out. This is my first time owning a Saturn, my first time taking apart one. So let's see what we got going on inside. Oh, yeah, definitely old school, that's for sure. So this console came out in 1994, I believe. And that is just crazy, just to see how this system was designed. That's neat. That's neat to see. So it's obviously not dirty, though it's like fairly clean. So that's good. And these systems didn't really have fans in it. But this is what I want to look at. What is going on here? Is the laser lens moving? There's a little bit of dust here. You can see the dust with the... So I can wipe that down. It's even running off of, like, these gears. I wonder if it has anything with these gears. But I think it has something to do. This ain't spinning. Does this pick up? Is that supposed to pick up? That's the question. And this little guy right here, I found out that it's not like a cartridge, which it would have been cool. I think this console might have sold better too if it was backwards compatible with Sega Genesis games. But this wasn't a cartridge slot for that. It was just a cartridge slot for extra RAM to make the system run a little bit better. That's about it. So, I mean, you had that option. The console would have actually sold a lot better too if they didn't sell it. If they didn't sell it 4 months earlier than Sony PlayStation, and the fact this console back then was $400. When the PlayStation came out, it was running a lot better, and it was only $300. So, yeah, ouch. So, the Sega Saturn was definitely I think, one of Sega's most failure ever in gaming history. Look at this guy. This guy's kind of weird. Alright. Enough of my reaction. You guys are getting my reaction just looking at this thing. It's like pretty neat. So, what is wrong with the disk drive and why is it not spinning? So, that is the question I am going to be solving here. This looks pretty clean too. I've been looking around, and obviously this is the power supply. This is where all the power is going. You know, it's like connected from there. Here's your circuit going into the power button. So this is like your power supply, which it all looks good. You know, there's no surface rust, nothing like that. Looks pretty good. The fuse, even the fuse looks good. So obviously there's nothing wrong with it getting power. It's this. Now, I believe this right here is a sensor. So, what I'm gonna do is grab a power supply, and I'm gonna grab the power cord I meant, and plug it in and see what's going on here. But I was doing some research, and there was a guy that had the same problem, and if you can see, there's this orange thing right there. It had something to do with that. But we'll see. My case might be different. Alright, so I got the disc on. Very reflective disc. So I turn it on. There's the light. Nothing. But, hold up. I think this is a sensor right here. Yep, it is, because you can see. You see the laser lens moving. So that's what I'm hearing in this system. So that's a sensor. You hold that in. That basically lets the system know that the door's closed and the laser lens is moving. You can see that. Alright. Nothing wrong with the laser lens. What's going on here? Why is this not spinning? So I'm going to unplug these ribbons here. And be very careful. Alright, so I got the ribbons unplugged. This is kind of unusual. What is this? What is holding this? I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's just something to hold down to keep the drive from moving or what. But there's a screw holding it down. It kind of acts like a ground, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and take that off. I might need a smaller screwdriver. Yeah. Alright, so I took it off, and as you see, there's one. The motherboard is right underneath from here. So the main chip is underneath this surface, which I believe all that's working fine. We just need to figure out what's going on with this disk drive. Oh, okay, hold up. That might be a problem right there. I think right there is the motor that spins it. It looks like we got... I hope that ain't corrosion. That certainly does look like corrosion though. Alright, hold up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some alcohol, clean that up. Honestly, that might be the problem. That was a sign right there. Alright guys, got my Q-tip with alcohol on it. And basically what we need to do is just right where all that surface rust is just try to clean as much as that off as you can. That might be stopping the connection to the motor. That little bit of rust, as you see right there. Yeah, you can see it's right on the Q-tip. that surface rust could be a problem stopping it from having connection. So I am going to clean this board up, make sure, and that should fix it. I'm hoping that's the problem. That's probably what it is. It's just a connection problem because of the surface rust. Other than that, the whole system looks good. I didn't see any other rust. I'm hoping there's no more on the motherboard. So yeah, I'll be right back after I'm done cleaning this board. Alright, so I can get a little bit more right there. There's some more in there, but you can see that it runs down. The main is right there. That's like the main chips. They're running down. These two are like the motor. So, and then you got another over here which needs a cleaning. So you can see what's going on here and possibly what the problem is. Alright, cleaned it the best I could. I'm hoping that fixes the problem. So let's go ahead and put it back together. And yeah. And one more thing while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and clean this laser lens with alcohol. Want to make sure it's nice and clean. Don't apply too much pressure. Looks better already. Alright, let's go ahead and put this back together. Alright, so it's back together. Like I said, there's not really much to work with here. So, you know, it's pretty easy stuff going on. So, let's go ahead and power it up. Let's put a disc. I hope this fixes it. Really do. Alright, let's see. Nope. I thought for sure that would have fixed it. Lens is moving, but not the disc. I figured out what this little chamber is. I mean, I still don't know what that chip is in there. That plug-in. But you have access to a battery. There's not even a battery in here. Somebody took the battery out of it. I wonder if that might be the problem. That straight up might be a problem. So whoever had this took the battery right out of it. But I'm pretty sure the battery, all it does is just tell the system what the year and time is and stuff like that. I'm not sure, but there's originally supposed to be a watch battery in there. As you can see right there, you see that little orange screw right there? That is actually, I've seen videos where it is a power. If you turn it clockwise, if you turn it clockwise, you give it a little bit more power. If you turn it counterclockwise, you give it a little bit less power. So I'm just gonna like mess around with that screw and see if that will do anything. Because I already done cleaned the surface rust off of the board, hoping that would fix it. Maybe it's not getting enough power, or maybe it's getting too much power because this is a Japanese console and it is required 100 volts, and I technically have it plugged in the wall, and pretty sure USA gets like 120 volts minimum. So yeah, maybe it's just getting too much power and it's not functioning right, because that can be possible, very possible. All right, so I'm gonna get up in there, try to turn that sucker. Alright guys, so I think I found the problem. Alright, so I was messing around with that orange screw. Just kind of a little bit at a time. I kept messing around with it little at a time. Alright, so watch this. If I put my hand on here, you see, the laser is moving. Watch this. Now, I kind of noticed this should be spinning freely. It's not. Look at that. So, I kind of went like this. Gave it a spin. Hold up. So, I gave it a little spin. And it started. Look at that. Spinning. I had to give it some help for it to spin. So you can hear it. It's obviously rubbing off something. I think it's rubbing right off of that. That's not good. So I don't need my CD scratch. So that is the problem. Something's holding it. Something's got some resist on it. There's like some resistance on it. So I need to figure out what is holding that like that. And that will fix it. That's why it wouldn't spin. Something's holding it down. Thinking, obviously this has nothing to do with this. But I wonder if it has something to do with that. Look at that. That looks like it's not even in there all the way. So I wonder if it has something to do with this black plastic. That's not... That might be the problem. And it looks like it just snaps in there. So I should be able to take this out and put it in there properly. The system might have been dropped too. I don't know. Because how else would that get knocked out like that? Taking my prying tool. Lifting that up. Popping it right out of there. There we go. Now it's coming off. There we go. Alright. So this little guy might have literally been the whole problem with this system the whole along. I mean, even though that rust on the board did need it cleaned. So that, I'm actually glad I took that apart and checked that out. So, this literally might have been the problem. This guy. So I just want to see something real quick before. Power it on. Yep. That was literally the problem. That was literally the problem. Alright. This guy wasn't in there all the way. Wow. Wow. I didn't think it'd be that easy, but I'm glad I figured that out. I've probably been sitting here for like an hour just trying to figure this out, but I finally figured it out. Let's go ahead and pop this sucker where it needs to be. And when you put it in there, just, you know, just basically make sure that it's all in the right holes and everything, and just make sure it's in there properly. It's kind of tricky, but it's literally all you gotta do. Just make sure it's in there. Make sure it clicks too. So make sure that's lined up like that. Kind of like start it like that, like a door. And just kind of go in there. Push that down. Just to show you. There's a piece broken right there that latches. So that might have been the issue too. Why it wasn't in there all the way. So it's still kind of rubbing because it should be very smooth. Because if you see right here, let's pop this off, and that piece did break, so that might be an issue too. But if I pop that off, put this back on, it should be spinning like that freely. I might have to just leave this off and play it like that until I get another piece of this. I don't know. I don't know why it's still rubbing. I put it where it belonged, where it was supposed to be, but I don't know. Alright guys, I'm just going to put it back together like this and just try it out. Put the shell back on. Remember where it was like a piece hanging? That's because somebody obviously took this apart before, I'm assuming. They just didn't put it back together right. But now it looks perfectly fine. Now, and it's asking this because of that battery not being in it, so I'm going to have to replace that so I can be able to have like the memory for it. Alright. Go ahead and skip that. So when I open it up, you see I didn't put that black tray thing back in it, so this time should just spin. Yep, I can hear it spinning. Actually, we'll just, yep, there it is. Booted right up. Let's go ahead and just reset it and have it boot up that way. There it is. Booted right up. So, literally, my problem with this was literally that black piece keeping it from spinning. It was rubbing off of the disc, keeping the motor from spinning at all. So literally that was my problem. And as you can see, I didn't put it back in there, and it's working perfectly fine. So, you technically don't need that piece, because I tried putting it back in, it wouldn't work. It kept rubbing, so I just said screw it. I took it right out. Now it's playing. 32-bit console. So, there you have it. That's how you fix that problem. So there you guys have it. Sega Saturn, easy fix. So if you guys are having that same problem with your Saturn where it's not spinning, make sure to see if it's spinning freely. If it's not, then most likely it's rubbing off of that black plastic piece. And if you want, just remove it out like I did, and you got a working Sega Saturn. Well guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next Fixing Tech. Peace!